In this video, we're going to break down this reel inspired by Mohi visuals. Let's get straight into it. In the edit page of Davinci Resolve, you're going to create a new timeline. Make sure it's 30 frames per second and vertical resolution. Go to effects, get a fusion composition, drag and drop that into your timeline. We're going to arrange the length later. You can then open that in the fusion page. In the fusion page, you have something like so. Now get a background node, connect the background node to your media out, and the first thing you see is the App Store UI animation. So we're going to go to effects, and I think I have the screenshots here. Just going to bring them here. We're going to figure out which one is which one. So I'm just going to close this here. Now if I open this one, good, this is the search one and it's the first one. I'm just going to bring all of this here, bring this to the side, and make sure I name this F2. I'm just going to name that search. Good. Now I'm going to get a background node, connect the search to the background node, and make sure it appears here. We're going to mask out this section. Let me zoom this in. Yeah, so I'm going to get a rectangle mask, and I'm just going to bring the width all the way up to 1, and I'm going to move it up here to the center. Is somewhere around there. I'm going to bring down the height. Good. Just make sure I think I'm able to, yes, connect this here. You see it's appearing here. We are going to add a transform node. I'm going to reduce the size till about 0.75 so it appears something like this. Yeah, the next one I'm going to look for is the apple. Yeah, this is it. So I'm going to bring this here, make sure I name that F2. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get a rectangle mask, make sure the width is 1, and I'm going to bring up this one to about here. Just make sure I mask all of that. Yeah, and I can bring this one down. I'm going to connect the rectangle to the apple and connect it here. Make sure we're viewing it here. You see that here. And I'm going to copy this transform node, Control C, and paste it here, Control V. You see the size is the same. So you're just going to do that for the remaining two. Yes, this is Amazon and this is Facebook. So you're going to do the same thing. Good. We have all of this. We're just going to make sure we arrange all of these so that they can fit in the middle, so that they're just in the middle. I think somewhere around here is good. You want to make sure that it's always in the middle. We can connect it here, and if we connect it here, we look at it from here. You see that we need to change the background. So I'm going to come to this background node. I'm going to make it black, and I'm going to pick the color of this so that you can't differentiate if it's a screenshot or not. Now we're going to go to the keyframing. Go to frame 0 for the first one. We're going to keyframe the position X and Y, and then we're going to come to somewhere around frame 20, keyframe it again, go back to the first one, and just take it up like so. Go to spline, zoom to fit, select all of that. You're just going to do out back cubic, and I'm going to bring this down. I want it to still maintain its bounce effect, but the bounce should be a slight bounce. Good. Now we're going to go to this first one, add a new transform node here, and make sure the pivot point is at the center. So go to frame 0. I'm going to keyframe it the size and come to where she says apple, which is about frame 20. I'm going to keyframe it again, go back to the first one and take the size down to 0. Yes, make sure the pivot point is at the center. That's what we're going to do. Now if you go take this to spline, select all of that and out back cubic. I always want to come to where the peak is. If you don't like how the peak is, you can reduce it like that. Yeah, maybe I should look at it from here so that you can see without the background. Now just copy this one, Control C. You're going to paste it here, Control V, paste it here again, Control V. Now make sure that all of them, their pivot point is at the center of each. So I'm going to take this one down here and this one, make sure that the pivot point is here. Good. Now all we're going to do is I'm going to open up my keyframes tab and select this, the one controlling Facebook. I'm going to take both keyframes to frame 22. For the next one, I'm going to open this one up, the one for Amazon, and make sure it starts at frame 40. Now we are done with the first thing. We can just select all of that and do shift space, and I'm going to search for an underlay. Good. I can just hold down Alt and name that F2 scene 1. For this second scene, you see this transition and this UI popping up. So we're going to do that. I'm going to get a background node. Make sure the background is transparent. I'm going to get another background node. We're going to make that background black. I'm going to make sure that this is black. Now I'm going to make sure we're viewing it here. Now go to the background. Make sure you change it from solid color to gradient and from linear to radial. And make sure this one is at 0.5 so that it's at the center. We're going to bring this white color down here and this black one up here. here. Now for this white one, we're just going to slightly change it a bit, and this black one, yes, and yeah, just make sure this one it's not too, yes, I think I want something like this. And I'm going to get a rectangle mask, connect the rectangle mask here, and make sure everything is 1 1. For this one, there are two ways you can do it. You can either keyframe the rectangle mask, or you can add a transform node. For me, I'm going to add a transform node here. Go to my media pool. I'm going to look for the mouse, yes, the mouse cursor. This is it. I'm going to just name that. I'm going to connect that here. Make sure I'm looking at it. It's too big. I'm going to get a transform node. I'm going to use a size of 0.1 and go to frame 45. Yes, you're going to keyframe it at frame 45, and you're going to bring the mouse down here. Yeah, somewhere around here. Now go to frame 70. Make sure this is selected. Keyframe it again, and at frame 70 it should be at the top here. So you're just going to, should be around here. Make sure we can just change the angle of the mouse a little bit, yeah, so that it comes here. At frame 70 it should be here, and at frame 92 you should bring it back down. This is it. Somewhere around frame 73 where it gets, yeah, it should get here around frame 73. We're just going to come to this one, keyframe this one, and at frame 90 it should be in place. Keyframe it again. So now go back to this one. We're just going to take this background off the screen like this. Make sure you take it up to somewhere around here. Good, that's what we want. So now I'm going to go to the background node, and I'm going to ease out cubic. We're going to open up the transform for the mouse, and you're going to make sure you select all, hit S. Good. If you hit S, you're going to see that we have to arrange it. We have to make it start fast here and slow down a little bit around here. Yes, so that if it goes here, whoa, okay, now the mouse needs to be in front. So I think this is better. Yeah, and one thing I forgot, you have to turn on motion blur for all of this. So I'm just going to uncheck motion blur, uncheck high quality, and check auto proxy. Now go to each and every one of these transform node and turn on a lot of motion blur. All of these Apple animations, they always have motion blur, and a lot of it. So I'm just going to connect this one here with. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to create the scene that appears after this transition. So we're going to get a background node, get another background node, and connect this background node to this one. You want to make it the apple white color. I'm just going to feed in the color code for the apple white color here. Let's make sure we're viewing it here. I'm just going to add a transform node, connect this here, and I can just increase the width till about here, and reduce this one, yes, and just increase the corner radius somewhere around there. Good. Now we have this one. If you go to your media pool, you're going to see this Apple logo, the white one. Just bring it here, and you can name that if you want. I'm just going to connect that one here. Make sure we're looking at it. You're going to see that it's that big. I need to add it a transform node so that we can scale it down somewhere around here. We're just going to bring it to this side. Can reduce the size down to 0.1. Let's do something like this. Get a text node. I'm going to connect the text node here. In this text node, I'm going to write Apple active users. I'm going to change it to the Apple font, which is FS Pro display. I'm going to make it black. Yes, I'm going to make this one medium. Let's just bring it here and up somewhere around here. I think it works. Let's shift this to the side. I'm going to control C this one, control V. Now delete the merge node. I'm going to delete the merge node, connect this one here, and in this one you're going to write it 2.35 billion people use Apple. So I'm just going to increase the size. I'm going to go back to this text, and let's reduce the size to about 0.7. Yes, and let's bring it to this side. Yeah, yes, I think this one works now. So I've shown you how to create this one. I already did that for Amazon. If I look at this one, yes, I did that for Amazon and Facebook. Yes, and if you want to know how to do all of this, just when you're done with it, like for this Apple, just come to your screen. If you want it transparent, just right click and you see save image. It's going to open up all these ones, and you can choose from JPEG, PNG, all of these. But make sure this all file, if you leave it at all files, it's not gonna work. So make sure you always use PNG or JPEG, anyone you want. That's how you save that. This is for Apple and this is Facebook. So I'm just going to write here F2 Facebook, enter, and this should be Amazon. Now I'm going to get a background node here, connect this one here, and bring down this one, connect this one here, bring down this one, connect this one here. Good. And all of these we should connect them down there. So now if you take a look at here, you see that they're in the same position. So we have to add a transform node to this one. If we take a look at this one and just take it up, okay, you see that the size kind of it's okay. Yeah, the size is the same now. Now we are just going to add another transform node here, and this one we can leave it at the center. For this one, let's add another transform node and take it down. Now we have it. What is left for us is to keyframe all of this. Make sure all of them have their pivot point at the center. So go to frame 18, go to this Facebook, and you're going to keyframe the size. From here, go to frame 100, keyframe it again. Now you're just going to do the first one and take it down to 0 so that it appears like so. You know what we are going to do. Go to spline, zoom to fit, select all, and outback cubic. Same thing for this one. This one starts at frame 81, so you just go to frame 81, keyframe it. You should have 20 frames, so go to 101, keyframe it, go back to the first one, take it down to 0. The same thing for this one, just go 1 or 2 frames forward, 1 2 frame here, and keyframe it here, and go to maybe 103, keyframe it again, go back down to 0. Now select these, hold down Control and select both of these, open in spline, select all of these, is outback cubic. And if you don't want it bouncing too much, you can just take it down like so. And that is it. So if you play our animation so far, let's go down here. Good. So if you play our animation so far, we have this. Now we have that one. We're going to add a transform node here. We're just going to make this move to the left. Just make sure that we are looking at this somewhere around here, and make sure we add a transform node. And okay, we're just going to go to frame 105. Yes, we're going to keyframe the center X and Y. Go to frame 1013. At 13, you're just going to take it not too far away. Just look at here. Now don't take it far away, just somewhere around here, and make sure go to spline, zoom to fit, select all, and ease out cubic. Yes, and make sure you're always turning on motion blur. I might forget during these tutorials, but for all of these you need to turn on motion blur. Now you're going to realize that as this one is moving from left to right, it changes. We have to keyframe the opacity for these two ones in order for us not to have to keyframe this merge node and keyframe this merge node again. I'm going to disconnect this one from here, get a background node here. Yeah, it's a lot of disorganization, I know, but it's going to save us time. I'm going to take it down here, disconnect this one from here, connect this one here, and back down. We have the same thing, but now we can then just come to this merge node at frame 110. We're going to keyframe the opacity for this one, go maybe 2 frames forward, yes, frame 112, and take the opacity down to 0 so that all of these disappears. Now you can delete this merge node, and if you take a look at this, good. Yes, this one comes back to the scene. Now we can just look for somewhere where this one is, somewhere around frame 94. Come to this merge node, keyframe the opacity, go 1 frame forward, and take the opacity down to 0. So when we come at frame 112, we have a clear scene here. Now as we have this one, we're going to bring in the next one, which are these. We're just going to, let me just arrange this first, because we have scene 1, we have the transition, and we have scene 2. Now we're going to scene 3. So if you look at it, it goes boom. Yes, so I'm going to get a background node. I've already prepared everything for this scene 3. It's basically the same thing like getting all of these together. I already prepared all of that, so let's just do it like so. Now I'm going to add this here. Boom, all of it appears in the center. I'm just going to add a transform node to this one. I'm just going to quickly name that. Make sure you are giving them different names, because if you try to use the same name, it's not going to accept. Maybe take this one up like yes, to this side. Yes, do this Control C, Control V. To this one, you're just going to move it to the left, and for this one, add another transform node and move it downwards. Yes, this is how you want to design your scene. You want everything to be in the middle. Now let's keyframe them coming in. For this apple, we're going to go to frame 111. We're going to keyframe the size and go to somewhere around frame 130. We're going to keyframe the size again. For the second one, just do the same thing. Frame 1, maybe frame 112, keyframe it. Frame 132, keyframe it again. For this one, frame 1, maybe frame 115, keyframe it, and frame 135, keyframe it again. Go to this one. All the first keyframes, you're going to take it down to 0. Good. Yeah, we're going to select all of these, go to spline, and make sure we do our all bounce effect, out, back, cubic. Good. And now you can just take it down a little bit. Good. Now if you look at it, it comes from this side. We are going to make this one 3D, so let's come to somewhere around here. Yes, somewhere around here. I'm going to add to this one, let's maybe add a transform node. Then I'm going to add an image plane. I'm going to add a camera, and I'm going to search for a renderer. I'm going to add that there. I'm going to connect everything somewhere. It's too far down here, and if you try to look at this merge node, yes, you won't see anything. So we're going to come to this camera, and we're going to go to the Z value and make sure we zoom it out like where we want it to be. Yes, somewhere around here should be pretty good. We're going to make it as this scene is moving out at, this scene is completely out at frame 113. So I'm just going to come somewhere around frame 111. I'm going to come to this, then you can go to either the transform or the image plane, anyone you want. You can keyframe the X. We're going to keyframe it around frame 111 and go to somewhere around frame 130. Good. It should be at the center, and go to this one. This one is a little bit tricky. We are going to take it to the side. We can't see it because we have already keyframed all of these. So let's just try to, yeah. So I'm going to bring it here, and I'm going to move it out like this. Yeah, I'll let it start from here, somewhere around here, and I'm going to go to this last one, remove this keyframe. Yes, so that it's like when I delete the keyframe, it's going to that one is going to appear. I keyframe it again, go to the next one, remove that keyframe, and it would be like this. Yes, go to spline and out cubic. I just discovered something. We had to change this one here, so I'm going to come back to this one. If we take a look at this, let me make sure that we zoom this in 50%. We have to change all of it to have this open. So what I'm going to do is I need to open this up like this, then shift this to the side. So open this up. Since the open is already on the Amazon part of the shot, I'm just going to Control C the Amazon and the rectangle. Control C. I'm going to Control V. Now if I take a look at this, I see the open here. So we're just going to bring the center of this rectangle to where it says Amazon, so that we can scale it down from there. Yes. So I'm just going to bring this here and make sure this is the apple. Yes. We're just going to connect it before the transform node, but you can just use this merge node to take it up. Good. And we're going to do the same thing for this one. Take it up. Now if you go back, yes, we are done. I just realized I didn't add that one there. Fit. All right, we have our animation up to here. Good. You might be asking, well, Prince, we could just use this, make this thing 2D. I made this thing 3D. Why? Because of the zoom out I'm going to perform here. And if you look at it, you have this money tree falling. I'm going to bring that money raining. Let's just name that F2 money. Add an image plane here and connect the money to this merge node. Now you're going to see that the money does not, it starts falling and the size is too small. So you are just going to come to where we want the money to start falling. We're just going to come to where maybe somewhere around frame 111. Yes, somewhere around here. And we're going to select the money, go to the keyframes tab, and you're just going to move this to frame 111. Good. Now close this up and come to this one, this image plane, and you're going to increase the size. Let's check that out. Yes, let's increase the size. You're going to increase the size and make sure that you bring it forward. Yes, good. Now I think we have to increase this just a little bit, and let's go back to the Fusion page and good. Good. So now we have to perform a zoom out transition. So we're going to, you can either use the camera or you're going to shift space and you're going to look for XF3D. And you're going to come to frame 35 somewhere like here, and you're going to keyframe that one. Go to frame 50. Yes, and you're going to zoom that out like this. Yes, somewhere around here. You should know. Good. Yeah, and we can go to spline, zoom to fit, select all, is our cubic. So somewhere around frame 140, I'm going to go back to the edit page, going to get a new fusion composition. Yes, here I'm going to keyframe the opacity. Go 8 frames forward. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and take the opacity down to 0. Now do the same thing for this one, but in the opposite direction. That is, we're going to come here, keyframe the opacity, go to the beginning, which is here, and take the opacity down to 0, so that you have something, yes, something like so here. Now let's open this second fusion composition in the fusion page. So we are just going to get a background node, connect this background node to this media out, and we're going to make the background color gradient, and we're going to change it from linear to radial. We're just going to change this one to 0.5 so that it is at the center, and I'm going to swap the positions of these ones. And this color, I don't want it too bright white. I'm going to bring it down. And this one, not too dark either. Nope, good. Somewhere around here. Good. And you see this text, but how did they do it? We are not going to create the text animation from scratch. We're going to use a text preset by one of our creators in Davinci Resolve, Victor. I'm sure you have come across him. This new edit, it all belongs to him. You open up, you're going to see all of these, which are 48 text presets that you don't need to animate. You just need to drag and drop, customize a few things, and that will be all. I'm just going to go down to where I see word by word slide of fade. I'm going to make a tutorial on how to use this text preset in a future video. But if you want to support me and support the channel, you can get this text preset using the link in the description. You're going to get 10% off any purchase. So what I'm going to do is I've changed the text. I'm going to show you how to use the text preset in this video. I'm just going to make this capital B. But how did they do it? We want it to appear at the center, but remember, we want this to come in like a 3D scene. So what I'm going to do is, instead of me, I'm just going to go back to this one. From here, I'm just going to no, let me just, and I'm going to select all of these, Control C, go back to the edit page, open this other fusion composition in the fusion page. I'm going to paste this one, Control V. Now I have the same thing. So make sure you get your text preset. I'm going to connect this one here, and if you don't know how to do this text animation, watch any of my videos. You're going to see how it's been done. Now I'm going to add an image plane to this one and connect my image plane to the merge. Now we have it appearing like that. Now if you're going to if you look at the transform, you're going to see that the animation starts from here, right? We don't want that, so I'm going to go to keyframe, make sure I open that up, and I'm going to just take this to 0, select all of these and bring it to 0. Yes, and if you try to play that now, but it's too far away, so what I'm going to do is we have to make it start a little bit closer to the camera. Yeah, I have to make it start closer to the camera, and somewhere around here I'm going to increase the size of this text. Okay, now we can go back to this one, reduce it. to go to modifiers, and I'm going to bring down the delay to about 0.7 and go to the transform. You see where this one is? I'm going to take it down so that it comes from below, like from very far below. Yeah, yes, comes from very far below. And I'm going to go to frame 5, go to the keyframes tab, make sure I select this one, select this two, bring it to this one. You can watch any of my videos to know how to do this text animation. Yeah, I'm going to break down how to do this text animation in a future video. Yeah, I think this is good. And to this text, I'm going to make sure I go to my effects again, still using Victor's presets. You're going to, if you look at it under template, you're going to see new glow. I'm just going to select this and add glow to it. I can reduce the glow size to something around here. Good. Now, for us to have a smooth animation, I'm just going to disable this one, and let's go to creating Apple is designed to be loved. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a background node, come to this text, Control C, Control V, move this up, and here I'm going to write, make sure you always change the font to the Apple font, FS Pro display, and here. And if we take a look at that here, let's just make that capital D. We can just select this, go to our keyframes tab, make this animation to start somewhere around frame 39. Yes, and bring it here. Yes, so you have something like this. Good. Apple is designed to be loved. And now go to your media pool. You're going to get the black Apple logo, which is somewhere around here. If you connect it here, take a look at that. You're going to see it's black. We're going to add a transform node. We can position it above here, yes, somewhere around here, and we want to make it white. So I'm going to do shift space. There are several ways in which you can change the color of an element in Davinci Resolve, but I'm going to use a color generator. I'm just going to connect that here. Yes, you're going to see a white box appears like this. So you get the output of this one and connect it to the mask section. It's going to appear white, and you can change the color from here like this if you want. That's all about this one. We are going to add glow to this one, and we are going to use the same thing, new glow. Let's just add that there, and we're going to connect this one here. Take a look at it. So it appears like this. We can then turn down the glow size, the intensity just a little bit. You should get this pack. It's a very good one. I'm going to make a video on that in the future. So now we have done that. The next thing we have to do is get this Apple where it says Apple is designed, and if you look at it, I already created, let's just add a transform node here so we can use this one to take this, nope, take this up, yes, somewhere around here. Then we are going to design the next part. Get a background node, get another background node, connect this one to this one, and we're going to make the background color somewhere around gray. And I'm going to get a rectangle mask. Yes, and let's take the corner radius somewhere up. Now I'm going to get this iPhone 16 from here, connect it here, and if you take a look, it's too big, right? Let me just reduce the size. Since there's no animation, we can do everything with this merge node. There's no animation, we need to turn it like this, move it to this side, move it down this side again, and that's it. Now we just get the output of this mesh of this rectangle and connect it to the mask section of this rectangle. It's going to cut it up like this. Now get a text node, and in this text node I'm going to write iPhone 16. Let's connect this one here. Take a look at it. You can, yeah, and that's it. We're done with designing this one. You can just do the same thing for the next one, which I'm going to get this, which is this Apple one. I'm going to, let me get a background node, add a background node here. Why am I adding this background node? So that I can add a transform node in the middle there. Now if you take a look at that, it's still the same thing. All right, so this is how you want to design your scene, and make sure everything is somewhere around the middle. Now we're going to add an image plane to this and connect this image plane to this merge node here. Good. We come back to this camera and let's take a look at here. Good. Yes, you can see that this one is on top of that one. So come somewhere around frame 35. That's here. Yes, before this text animation starts, you're going to keyframe the translation Y, and let's disable this image plane for now. So we see only this one here. Now we're going to take this to about, it's going to move till about frame 65. Yes, and we're just going to take this above like so. Yes, yeah, I think it should end here. Now that's it. We can go to spline. Just make sure your only the Y value is selected. Yes, select all. We're just going to ease out cubic. If I try to, yes, let's come to frame 42 and come to this image plane here, and you're going to go to materials. You can keyframe the opacity here, go maybe 2 frames forward and take it down to 0 so that this text appears. Now that is at the same moment where this scene is going to appear. Good. So it already appears down here. We're just going to make sure that we arrange the Y value so that it appears. Good. Somewhere around here. If you look at that now, we can maybe just keyframe it 1 frame 44. So we can go to the materials, keyframe it, go 1 frame backwards, take it down to 0. Yes, now it appears like that. So if we, yeah, all right, now we're just going to make sure that at the end of this frame 65, we're just going to make sure that this thing should be at the center. So let's try to take it to the center. Let's make sure it is at the center. I think, yeah, it should be somewhere around here. So if we go back, yeah, I think we have it now. And that's it for the first part of this tutorial. If you have gotten value out of this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.